unacceptable problems that we've seen, like long wait times and some veterans not getting the timely care that they need, is a challenge for all of us if we are to match our words with deeds. And my message to every single veteran, to veterans all across this country, is that I am still not satisfied, and Bob McDonald is still not satisfied. And we are going to keep investing in the facilities and the physicians and the staff to make sure that our veterans get the care that you need when you need it.
$142 million in bonuses. Money doled out for doing a job above and beyond expectations, for supposed excellence in serving veterans of our nation's military. This, as American military vets cannot get the health care they need, shuffled to the back of lines, forced to sometimes live in near poverty because of medical bills. Only able to watch as the current administration and other elected officials slap each other on the back and fail to act swiftly and decisively in repairing a broken system. All this coming to light on the day we honor our veterans. We're joined by former Navy SEAL who did 2 tours in Iraq and author of Battle on the Homefront, Carl Higbie, along with former member of the Army and Navy, now Special Operations Advisor for Concerned Veterans of America, Jason Beardsley. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Up front, we thank you for your service and for your time. But I want to bring our attention right to this report. It's right up front on the Newsmax.com website today. $142 million in bonuses to people who basically are not getting the job done. Carl, I come to you first. When you hear the president saying that I'm not happy, we're not happy, and we're going to get something done, this has got to make you want to throw something against a wall. This is despicable what they're doing here, and they're not getting anything done.
Right, and you see the VA budget has increased every year exponentially. It's over $170 billion with a B this year, and you got $140 million going in bonuses to people for what? If you work for a hedge fund and that hedge fund doesn't make any money or they're unsuccessful, nobody gets bonuses. I mean, that's the problem here. You might have a couple hard workers in the VA, but the bottom line is they're not giving the care to the veterans that we need. And you look what Hillary Clinton said recently. She said, "I'm not going to dump veterans out into the private healthcare system," because this is the fundamental problem with liberals versus conservatives. Is the liberals believe the government can do a better job, which obviously they haven't. Conservatives, we want to put them in a private healthcare system. Choose to serve, choose your doctor.
Now, you brought up the former Secretary of State, so let's hear this. This is Hillary Clinton making it very clear where she stands on the future of the VA. She said this at the Veterans Roundtable in New Hampshire.
Privatization is a betrayal, plain and simple, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Jason, let me come to you on this. She followed up by saying this is all the Republicans' fault. They will seize on anything they can to help advance this goal of theirs, talking about privatization. What in the name of sweet Jesus is she talking about here? If you've got to put a veteran in a hospital somewhere and you've got to give him or her any sort of medical care, you do it. You don't sit and blame this and make this politics.
Oh, you absolutely nailed it. First of all, thanks for having me on the show, but you're absolutely right. When Hillary Clinton talks about a betrayal, the real betrayal is happening to our service members who are standing in line and shuffled around this paperwork nightmare. The Concerned Veterans for America brought this up 2 years ago in Arizona when we lost service members, peers of mine and Carl's, who've been out on the battlefield dying, waiting for their health care. So if there's a betrayal here, it's the administration not living up to their commitment to take care of our service members. That's untenable. And it requires that we get involved in this fight. So our fight didn't stop at the end of service, and I know Carl's the same way as I am. We're going to continue to fight until we hold the elected officials accountable. Concerned Veterans for America has said it loudly. We're going to keep pressing this until we get, those service members served first. That's the real betrayal that's happening here.
Jason, honestly, do you think that Barack Obama, honestly, at the end of the day, cares about veterans and is doing everything he can, as he has claimed, to make this system better?
Ed, the great news is I don't even have to think about whether he cares or not. We just have to look at his actions. What they're doing in actions has represented a failure to the service member consistently for years. We've had bonus obfuscations. We've had buildings that are well overfunded, not completed yet. We have people that are shuffled around these wait lists. So we don't have to think about what's in his heart or what's in his mind. We just need to watch their demonstrated actions. And I'll tell you what, that's not good enough for a service member. That wasn't good enough for me when I was overseas in combat. I know it wasn't good enough for Carl over there. It's not good enough for the president.
Carl, let's talk about the current spate of GOP debates and also the candidates themselves. In your opinion, whom would you want to select? Who do you think is the best person, not just to run the military, but to be able to deal with this issue?
Well, I mean, this issue is a fiscal issue. And you look at the one person on stage right now, which is Donald Trump, who has actually put in, foot to ground and made jobs. He's the only person on the stage who's made jobs. Also, look at his presidential campaign. Look at the way he's run that. He has made the most headway with the least amount of funding. That is the guy I want running my country. That's the guy I want running my VA, and that is my commander-in-chief.
All right, Jason, same question to you.
Listen, we want to see actions, not just words. Rhetoric is nice, and it's great that Donald Trump has a vision to possibly help the healthcare system. But look, we've had plans laid out by Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, Carly Fiorina, Senator Cruz. These are guys that have come to town hall meetings with Concerned Veterans for America, Rand Paul. They've laid these plans out. That's what we're looking for. And again, the rhetoric is one thing, and we appreciate that, but the president's got rhetoric. We want to see actual plans. That's what we're looking for. And whoever demonstrates those, that's who we'll follow.
But then in your opinion, then I only got a few seconds left, Jason. Let me press you on this end. Is there one candidate sitting there in the GOP that you think has it right when they're talking about the VA?
Well, I've dug into a lot of the plans. Marco Rubio's laid out some really good specifics. But again, we're not convinced just by the rhetoric. The plan is one thing. All of us that are service members today on November 11th, remember that, hey, any plan is okay, but once we get into the fight, that plan has got to be flexible. We need leadership to adapt. So we're looking for a solid leadership who can actually
If you want a solid leader and concrete provenness, look at what Donald Trump did in New York City.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop you there, unfortunately, Carl, because we're out of time. But listen, we will continue this conversation. I want to remind everybody, Jason Beardsley, you can learn more about Concerned Veterans of America, cv4a.org. Carl Higbie, go to carlhigbie.com. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We're proud of your service. We appreciate your time.